Good evening, crafting friends. It's Dorene Decibus from It Begins with Ink and Paper, and welcome to Funfold Friday. Apologize for my voice. I still have my cold, so you'll just have to bear with me tonight as we are going through the presentation. And of course, just as I was about to hit live, I knocked over all of my card supplies for tonight, and so I was trying to pick those up really fast, and hopefully I didn't lose anything. If not, we'll be cutting some things out. So I have here to show you. Hi, Roz. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. I have here the mini catalog for January through April. I just got my first part of my pre-order. I actually sent in a second part, but it just shipped today, actually, so I won't have it for a while. But I'm going to pop on sometime tomorrow and just do a little unboxing and show you what I got from the catalog. I can't open the catalog yet, but I can show you the cover, and there are some sweet things inside. So this week's vote. We first voted on the theme of Christmas, then we chose traditional labels, we chose the Traditions of Christmas Designer Series paper, and we chose a WOW Fun Fold. So I hope I've delivered tonight in everything that you voted for. So this is the Traditional Labels stamp set. It's just a sentiment set, but what's kind of cool about this is that, well, first, here are the dies. So these will fit, the sentiments will fit in these dies. And then these stamp set is 15 stamps, but they're kind of like all separate. I'm going to show you that tonight so that you can, when you're stamping these, you can line things up the way you want to. So it makes it a little bit fun. So are you ready to see the card that I made for this week? Now, I will tell you, this is a card that is going to require extra postage. So I just want to put that out there. It is an extra postage card. You don't have to do as many layers as I've done, but it definitely is going to need extra postage. It's the kind of card that I would probably hand deliver to a friend or family member or put inside a package so that they would get it. So here we go. This is called an accordion gatefold card. So this is the front of the card. You can see the gatefold. And then when you open it, you see the accordion. And that's what the inside of the card looks like. Hi, Rosalind. Thanks for joining. So here is that part thick in the center. I added this to the back so that there's a place to write. So again, just to show you what it looks like. Okay, let's get started. So as I said, I knocked all of this over, so it's not even in order anymore. And I know I don't have all the stuff that I knocked over, so I know I'm going to have to die cut a piece out. So let me just get this kind of organized. So we'll start with the Real Red Cardstock. So I'm using Real Red Cardstock. You need 2 pieces, but as you're going to find out, you can make 1 card out of a full sheet of paper. So that's pretty good. So first you need a piece of paper that measures 5.5 by 9.5. So this is this one. We're going to be scoring it. And then you need another piece of paper, which when you cut the 5.5 inch off, this is what's going to be left. And then you're just going to trim it because you need a piece that measures 3 by 10 and 5/8. So that's the Real Red. I'll show you the scoring measurements in just a minute. We're going to need a piece of basic white cardstock that measures 4 by 5 1/4. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Bonnie. I cut out a piece of Designer Series paper. This is kind of like a late minute addition that I decided to add to the card. And I was actually going to use this side, but I turned it over and use this side. This measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. We're going to need another piece of basic white cardstock that measures 1 7/8 by 2 3/4. And then we're going to need 4 pieces of designer series paper that measures the same as this piece of white. So it's going to measure 1 7/8 by 2 3/4. And that's the same design as this. Then we're going to need, we'll get these out of the way like I told you, dumped everything. We're going to need 4 pieces of designer series paper. And I'm using this pattern. It has green on the back. Looks like granny apple green. And then this beautiful design is probably my favorite sheet in the whole package. But we're going to need 4 of these, and they measure 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Then we're going to need some gold. Oh, and don't tell me this is one of them, but no, I've got it here. Okay, so we need 4 of these that measure 2 by 5 3/8. And then we need 5 of these, because one thing that's going to be layered is that little piece of basic white. So we need 5 of these that are going to measure 2 by 2 7/8. And then I did cut off just a little piece of this to put on the back. And then what I pre-cut, and I don't have the companion set to this. So all of this was fussy cut out of the designer series paper. So I just cut a bunch of the smaller flowers, which we're only going to use one now. I had a different plan. That's why I cut so many of them. But now, like I said, we're only going to use one. So I'll set those aside. I'll use them for something else. And I cut 3 of these. Have the little poinsettia on it. And then I cut a big spray. And as I said, these were all fussy cut out of the designer series paper. And then I cut 2 of these. They came from the Delicate Pines dies. And I can see I'm going to need another one cut. So we'll just get that over with right now. Now again, as I said, you don't need as many layers as I have, but you know me, I love my layers, and literally I was scraping for my gold, through my gold foil. I tried to order more, and it's on back order, and I was hoping I'd have enough to make what I wanted to do for this card. So I'm just going to take one of these pieces and put this die right in the middle. I can still use it that way. And this is just my... And this should be good now. Let me just... There we go. Now we have 2. And I have 1 somewhere else. So let me just put this back into the Delicate Pines stamp set before I misplace it, which I am famous for that. So I had planned a moon watching party last night for my students and their families for the supermoon, the last supermoon of the month that we had, of the year, excuse me. And oh my goodness, that cold front came in, and I ended up canceling it the day before because we heard the weather might be so cold. The wind, and we had snow squalls. It was just awful. So I'm so glad that I had canceled it or postponed it. We'll do it after the new year. But oh my goodness, the kids were disappointed, but today they all came in and said, oh my goodness, it was so cold out last night. We're so glad we didn't have to come back. Okay, so I'm just starting by putting this little piece on. We're just going to get some of this done. I had put tape on these for the last, when I was making the sample. So I'm just going to add this to the back, and that is all ready to go. So I'm just going to set that aside. And I'm going to get my papers all, we're going to just get them all taken care of so that then we can just focus on making our card. Okay. So we definitely had our first look at winter today with those cold temperatures. It managed to creep up to like 17 degrees. Okay, there's our first one. We also had our first snow day this week due to that storm on Tuesday. And it's just amazing how fast everything changes. Because at first we weren't supposed to get a lot of snow, but we ended up getting like 10 inches. So because it's a new month, on Sunday there'll be a new stamp set for Simply Stamping Sunday. And I think I'm going to surprise you with a brand new set. And so if you watch my live tomorrow, you'll probably get to see, you'll get some choices to what to choose. So make sure you join me. I can't tell you what time the live's going to be. I'm ready to go. I just need to run some errands in the morning, and I don't know how long they'll take. So as soon as I know, I'll post something on my Facebook page so that you'll be able to watch the unboxing video and see some really cool new projects. So we're almost done here with all of this layering of paper. Sometimes the cutting and layering is the longest part of a card. And then this is the piece we're going to stamp. So if you look at the inside of my card, you can see that I think it was just one stamp, but it's not. So let me show you how I did that. So here's my piece. It is in two pieces, Merry and Bright. And I left the ink on, well, it's going to be stained anyway, and you can see how they have a little curve to them. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to be stamping in just real red ink to match everything tonight. So I'm going to stamp the Merry, and I'm going to put that, I'm going to just center that, have it towards the top, and then I'm going to grab the and Bright. And with the photopolymer, I can look right through and stamp, and look how great that looks with just the two stamps. You've got them curved. It's just a cool look. Okay, so we will put this piece right on top of that gold piece. Okay, there we go. Now we're ready to do some scoring. So we'll put all of that together in just a minute. Okay, so I'm going to get I'm just going to use my paper trimmer today for my scoring. And with my large piece here, and I'll just remind you, it's measured 5.5 by 9.5, and I'm going to score it on both ends at 1/2 inch. That'll be my first score. Move the cutting blade out of the way, and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch here. Okay, so then the next score mark on both sides will be 2 5/8. So I'm going to go to 2 5/8 and score that. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side and score it at 2 5/8. Comments so that you can recreate this card, or at least this fold. And for this one, again, it measures 3 by 10 5/8, and I'm going to score 2 1/8 and 4 1/4 on each side. So 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. And there we go. So now all of our scoring's done. We've got our cardstock layered. We're ready to start doing some folding. So I'm going to fold in at the 2 5/8 score mark on both sides. Give it a really nice burnish. And then I'm going to take the little piece, and I'm going to be folding that out. It's going to be folded out because this is going to be the flap that's going to hold it all together. So we've got that. Going to do the same on this side. And now when we look at this, we can see the gatefold now. So here's our gatefold. Okay, for this one, I am going to fold in at the second fold, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. This right here is our middle piece, so that's going to be going on the inside of the card like that. So then I need to fold these in the other direction. And so we'll open like that and fold like that. And I'm just going to, okay, there we go. So, oops, I was like, where did that go? All right, let's start putting some paper on this. So I'm going to grab these pieces first. This one's going right in the center. I want to have a place that I can write the recipient's name. And so I'm just going to center this just like that. And then these pieces are going to go on the other 4 flaps. You could use as many different designer series paper as you'd like. I chose to just keep it simple and use 3 different designs. And I just think the gold accents just make this paper is just so pretty. Okay, so this is our accordion fold. And I'm just going to set that aside for a moment. I'm not going to put this on the back yet. I learned my lesson last week. So we're going to start by putting the panels in that of the designer series paper and the gold. So one is going to go here on the left side. One is going to go on the right. We're going to ignore the flap right now. We're going to be putting one on each side of the front. And this side as well. All right, and there we have our flaps. And then this piece here is going to go right into the inside. You can leave that blank. You could put a solid color of cardstock in, but this just really matches the other designer series paper that I chose. So that's why I wanted to use that. Okay, so we're in good shape right now. So now I'm going to keep this open and have the flaps down like this. And I'm going to line this up how I want it to be. And I want to have an even space from top to bottom. This score line and this score line should be going right in the middle of these panels. And so I can see that that looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is take a pencil and I am going to mark where this is going to go. Okay, we'll set that aside so you can see that I have those pencil marks. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the tabs off. I'm going to go to the inside of the pencil mark so I don't have to erase the pencil afterwards. Edges to make it look more like a flap. So I'm going to cut that, and then I'm going to cut that right off. There we go. And I'm going to do the same over here. And on this side. And that will leave me two flaps to attach the accordion part of the card to. Okay, let's get that out of the way. So this is what the card looks like now, though I want it like that. And this is what the inside looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to use liquid glue for this part because I want to have that wiggle room as I'm putting this down. So I'm only going to put the glue on this middle inside panel. And I'm going to set it up again so it's a line from top to bottom that is going straight across, that we've got things in the middle. Okay, and once I have it the way I want it, I'm just going to hold this down and adhere it. And now I'm going to do the same things with the flaps. So now I just have to add a little glue here. And I'm going to turn that over. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm going to give this a second to dry, so I'm going to just keep it flat while I start decorating the card, because that's all that's left there is to do. The card is actually made. Just going to make sure there's no glue on the back side. That looks great. So I guess while I have this going the right way, I'm just going to put a little glue under one of the leaves. There we go. And I'm going to put this on the back. I really like having a spot to be able to write a little note in my Christmas cards. I've got to start working on those this weekend. Okay, there's the back. Okay, let's go back to this side. All right, so I'm going to start with my main images that I'm using are these. Okay, so I'm going to wait to put that on in a moment. I am going to have one of these going up like that, and then the other one I'm going to glue down going in the opposite direction. So that's how I decided to do those. So we'll just put a little glue again. Oh, that was not good. I will wipe that up. So I keep baby wipes at my desk, and I don't want to get a lot of moisture on the cardstock, but I just want to get that glue off so it's not sticky. There we go. No one will know. Okay, so now I'm going to take these, and two of them I'm going to put a little bit of snake, and I'm going to have them go this way, and then the third one I'm going to add some dimensionals to it. This card's already really thick, so normally I wouldn't add more thickness to it, but with it the way this is designed, I'm not too worried about adding just that little bit. So there's the 3 poinsettias. And now over here, I am again going to use dimensionals. And on the card I showed you, I used a little bit of a different spray. They both have gold and greenery. This one was red in the center, this one's the pink, and it has the red flowers where this had the pink and white flowers. So they're all a little different. I was able to cut a lot of them out, and so all of your cards will just be a little bit different if you try to do this. So I know that this is going to stick over the top and bottom, So when I put these on, I'm just coming down a little bit. I'm going to put 3 rows of dimensionals, but only in the middle. And let's see, I can do it this way, or I can do it this way. I think I'll do it this way. Now, I'm not worried about the edges going over because it's the front of the card and it's right in the middle, so it will still be on the front of the card. So my next step is to take some of this beautiful gold sheer ribbon. I have loved using this on my gold projects this Christmas. I just think it is so elegant. And I'm just going to make a small bow. It's going to need extra postage, or I'm going to hand deliver it. So I am okay with adding the extra bulk of a bow. Okay, I'm going to trim this. And we'll get a dimensional, a glue dot. And I'm going to put that right in the center. I think I'm going to trim that one side just a little more. There we go. And now I'm going to add a little bit of bling. So I showed you these last week. They are the traditional sparkling sequins, and they go with this suite. And they have glitter gems that are in all of the colors that are in, well, not the pink, but all of the other colors that are in the designer series paper. So I'm going to use some of the gold. I'm just about out of the small size ones. So we'll finish up the small ones right here. And then I'm going to put a larger one right here. And then I thought it would be really fun to put some in the center of those poinsettias that are so pretty. Okay, it's been long enough for that glue to have set. So when I close the card, it's going to look like this. And again, there is a ton of bulk here, so just remember that it's going to take extra postage. And when I open it, I get a fold on the inside and the beautiful paper, and then I have the spot on the back to write my message. So I hope you love this card, and I hope it was wow enough for you. So I'll open one and have one closed. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. So, voting will open on Sunday for next week's Simply Stamping Sunday, which will be December 12th, I think. Yes. Check out Sunday afternoon so you can vote on what you want for next week. And that is it, my friends. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I hope you try this card because it's a lot of fun to make, and it's really not too difficult, but definitely has the wow factor at the end. So I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you Sunday night for I'll see you tomorrow sometime for the catalog unboxing, and I'll see you Sunday night for Simply Stamping Sunday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.